My name's Andrea Cashmere. I work for Western Local Land Services. I'm a Senior Land Services Officer on the Natural Resource Management team. I'm based in Hillston, about 100 kilometres northwest of Griffith. In 2021, Western Local Land Services was successful in gaining funding from the New South Wales Environmental Trust to do a Sandhill Pine restoration project. The Sandhill Pine community is actually an endangered ecological community, which means that it's under threat of becoming extinct. So this project is an effort to try and turn the health around of that community. The main elements of the project are the fencing, the collection of seed, the removal of threats, so for example boxthorn and rabbits, and then finally putting the seeds into the ground. And then the last part is waiting, waiting for it to rain. So the main threats to the Sandhill Pine community are the pine itself needs a really hot, wet summer to germinate, and it doesn't like any competition. So that's our first one. Then we have this beautiful sandy soil that rabbits like to live in, and so anything that may germinate is nipped off by them. Beautiful sandy soil again, perfect for weeds, boxthorn, spiny burgrass, Patterson's curse, which also inhibits regeneration of pine and other native species. Our stock love to shelter under the trees, remembering that these communities are found usually in grasslands. So there's not much shade out there, so stock tend to congregate under the shade. And of course we've used cypress pine as a building resource for since colonisation. A lot of our fences were made out of cypress pine, a lot of our homesteads are made out of cypress pine. Obviously we can't do projects like this without the support of our landholders. The 3 landholders that were involved in this project understand and value the benefits of having native vegetation on their properties. Obviously without them we couldn't have done this project. The biggest part of the project was collecting the seed for the direct seeding, which is the method we use to restore the Sandhill pine. This process of collecting seed is quite labour intensive, but also very enjoyable. It's a very therapeutic thing to do. So, you have to keep an eye on your species you're wanting to collect all year round. So you're looking at when they're flowering, you're watching rainfall, you're watching temperature, and you're identifying trees even before they've set seed that have the potential to collect from. So yeah, it's an ongoing process, and then normally native seed is ripe in summer. So yeah, it's hot work because you collect in summer. So once the seed is harvested, we took it down to Murray LLS. Murray cleaned the seed for us and stored it for us until we were ready to do the direct seeding. Before we could direct seed, the landholders actually slashed the lines for us where the seed trail would be laid. We had an Aboriginal Cultural Heritage survey conducted on every property because we would be disturbing the soil and therefore potentially disturbing sites. So we had traditional owners come back on country and do that for us. And we found sites, as you'd expect to find on a Sandhill Pine community. So once the sites were prepared, Murray came up with their machinery and we mixed the seeds. There was 12 different species. We just didn't use pine, so we did other overstory species like she oak, hakea, about 4 different acacias, and then a suite of understory smaller species. So yeah, it was a really diverse mix. So we fenced off 134 hectares. The landholders erected 11 kilometres of fencing to protect Sandhill Pine communities. We collected 81 kilograms of native seed, about 18 different species, and we ran 230 kilometres of direct seeding line. We produced a brochure on how to actually collect the species that belong on a Sandhill Pine community, and we also had a wonderful workshop where we got an expert to come and talk about the community in depth and ways that we can help it. Obviously a big part of the project is not just the direct seeding, but it's the extension of that. It's the raising awareness of the Sandhill Pine community, collecting seeds, identifying plants, talking about grazing management. And there's a whole community of people who love Sandhill Pines. It's not just this little project in Hillston. So there's other landholders around Hay and Carnargo as well as Hillston, fencing off sandhills, direct seeding them, protecting them for future generations. And I think that's a great part of the project, is that extension and that raising awareness of the community. So in the end, that is what will stop the community from becoming extinct, but also see it into the future as a thriving, regenerating community.